Now Krishna starts answering. So let us read what Krishna is answering actually. So let us start with the 11th verse. Please repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan
Shri Bagavad
Asocyananvasocasvam
Asocyananvasocasvam
Prajnavadancha bhashase
Prajnavadamcha bhashase
Gatasu nagatasuncha
Sunagasuncha
Nanusochanti panditaha
Nanusuchanti pandita
Shri Bhagavan
Shri Bhagavan
Asocyananvasocasvam
Asocyananvasocasvam
Prajnavadancha bhashase
Prajnavadamcha bhashase
Gatasu nagatasuncha
Sunagasuncha
Nanusochanti panditaha
Nanusuchanti pandita
Yes, few of you can recite this verse. It's a wonderful verse. Everyone can give it a try. Yes, go ahead, Mahesh.
Bhagavanvacha Ashucyananvashocasvam Prajnavadanscha bhashase Gatasun agatasuncha Nanusochanti pandita.
Thank you, Mahesh Prabhu. Anyone else would like to try?
I will, Prabhuji. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asocyan Anvasochetvam Prajnavadam Sabhasase Gatasun Agatam Sa Nanusochanti Panditaha. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. One more person.
I'll try, Prabhuji.
Yes, Firoz Prabhu.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Asuchana Anusyascha Tum Pragyavadascha Bhasase Gratasun Agatasu Agatansuscha Nanu Shosanti Panditaha.
Thank you, Prabhu. Harita Mataji, would you like to read the translation and purport, Mataji?
Thank you. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Purport. The Lord advanced to the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, "You are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned. One who knows what is body and what is soul does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of birth. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or socialism. But he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the supreme is even more important than religious formalities. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posted himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentations. The body is born and the body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, verse number 11 all the way up to 38, Krishna is answering Arjuna's first question in first chapter. His first question or his first doubt is compassion. He is so compassionate about his relatives. Oh, this is my brother, this is my father, this is my grandfather, these are my grandchildren. I'm killing everyone. So this is sort of compassion he has, and he is ready to give up everything and become a beggar, live on the streets or in the help of the others. So this is the kind of attitude shown by Arjuna in the first chapter. Now Krishna starts answering. The very first verse itself, as soon as he took charge as a teacher, is addressing him right away. You spoke like a very learned person, but you know nothing. This often happens to us. This often happens to us, right? Especially with our children. They speak very eloquently with their limited experience in their life. They argue such a way that they are right. They are right. But we know that we have seen more life than them. We know what will happen after high school, what will happen after college, what will happen after a few years of working, all that, because we went through that. We went through that. So here, Arjuna so eloquently put forward his arguments religion, dharma, principles, all this, but he forgot the most important. The most important is the supreme and the jiva, the soul, and the connection between them. He forgot that. And he gets so much, went on. So here Krishna is directly addressing him. You fool. It's a kind of, like basically, you know, uh, one way is like, right away set him right. Or don't think that you are too learned. Because he gave so much argument, he wants to cut down right away his pride or whatever it is. Of course, Arjuna is not in pride. The way he asked is basically very low way. He didn't show any pride, but the argument he put forth is like a very intelligent person. So he's basically, no, you are not that intelligent. So Krishna wants to right away make him set so that he pay attention. Sometimes what happens, we feel like ourselves very intelligent. Then what happens? We don't pay much attention to it. Oh, we will wait for the most important line to be spoken, most important thing to be spoken. Many of these things I know already. This sort of attitude we have in mind. And we don't pay for, we don't hear completely, we don't pay focus fully. This is our attitude, general attitude, because I myself see it sometimes when I attend the classes of other senior devotees and other people, or especially our own group is giving classes. We can really see it. We can really see it. Oh, this is already especially last week in class, Satchinandan Maharaj is speaking. You know what he said? I make myself as the beginner and I start taking notes. So Maharaj is taking notes when a young person is giving a class. How much life Maharaj has seen it, but still he is taking notes. And he is giving points at the end of the class. That is the attitude. So here especially Krishna wants to set Arjuna right from the beginning. And also especially why he is saying that? Because all his argument is based on the bodily concept. And especially even though this purport is very, very small, but it is very, very wonderful purport. The reason why I'm saying this one is we often fear about what will happen to us tomorrow. What will happen to me if I lose job? What will happen to me if something happens to my family? What will happen? we constantly live under the shadow of the fear, isn't it? If we look at all our insurances, is there anything in the world that doesn't have insurance, that doesn't cover insurance? Look at around us. From our head to toe, and from our home, all the equipment in home, all the things in home. Is there anything that we can't do? Every little piece of we can have insurance if we are ready to pay the money. This is the way. This is the way. Especially in a few days back, I heard one ad. You know what is this ad? One mother is talking to his son. You know, Mom, you are not well. You can come and stay with us or something. No, 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 don't worry. I am very happy. And you need not to worry about my funeral expenses. I paid in full my funeral expenses. I have insurance. So that mother is paying monthly $10 for her funeral expenses. And the ad comes saying that if you have this insurance, this funeral cost burden won't be there on you, which is nearly costing 30,000 with minimum expenses. That means, when did we come to a stage like that? The parents has to earn their own money to their funeral. So we are living in such a world that is everything is like that. Everything is like that. So we are living under constant. That's why Krishna is setting right away. Why are we worried? If this body goes, its body goes. Whatever the limit set for this body, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years, whatever the limit set for this body when it is created. That means basically when Brahma created, he wrote an expiration date for this body. That expiration date, we don't know. When it hit, it disappears. So why do we care? Why do we worry too much? That is the point here. Now let us move to the next verse and let us see. Especially this next verse is also very, very wonderful verse that set Arjuna right. So let's read it. Natvevaaham jatu nasam
Natvevaaham jatunasam
natvam neme janadhipa
Natvam neme janadipah
nachaiva na bhavishyamaha
Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha
sarve vayamatah param
Sarve vayamatah param
natvevaaham jatu nasam
Natvevaaham jatunasam
natvam neme janadhipaha
Natvam neme janadipah
nachaiva na bhavishyamaha
Nachaiva bhavishyamaha
sarve vayamatah param
Sarve vayamatah param
Yes, some of you can recite this verse. Anyone would like to try?
I will Prabhuji.
Yes, Danya.
Natvanirva Natveha Natveha Natve
Natvevaham. Natvevaham.
Natvevaham Jatunasam Natvam Nemejanadhipa Nachaivanabhavishyama Sarve Vayamataparam.
Good. Good. Thank you. Anyone else?
I'll try Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Natveva Natvevaham jatunasam Natvam neme janadipa Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha Sarve vayam atah param. Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji. Anyone would like to try?
नत्वेवाहं जातु नासं नात्वं निमे जनाधिपः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयम् अतः परम्.
Thank you, Guru Prabhu. Kishore Prabhu, you would like to try? I think you unmuted earlier.
Yes, sure, Guru. Thank you. नत्वेवाहं जातु नासं नत्वं नेमे जनाधिपः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयम् अतः परम्. Thank you, Guru.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else would like to try?
I will read. नत्वेवाहं जातु नासं नत्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्. Thank you.
Would you like to read the translation and purport? Yeah, you can read half the purport and you can give a chance to others too. I think it's a big purport.
Yeah, sure. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Purport. In the Vedas, in the Katha Upanishad, as well as in the Svetashvara Upanishad. Svetashvatara Upanishad. It is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the maintainer and of innumerable living entities. In terms of their different situations according to individual work and reaction of work, that Supreme Personality of Godhead is also by His plenary portions alive in the heart of every living entity. Only saintly persons who can see within and without the same Supreme Lord can actually attain to perfect and eternal peace. Nityo nityanam chetanascetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman tamatmastam ye nupashyanti dhiras tesham shanti Shashvati netresham. Katha Upanishad 2.2.13.
The same Vedic truth given to Arjuna is given to all persons in the world who pose themselves as very learned but factually have but a poor fund of knowledge. The Lord says clearly that he himself, Arjuna, and all the kings who are assembled on the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and that the Lord is eternally the maintainer of the individual living entities, both in their conditioned and in their liberated situations. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Individual Person, and Arjuna, the Lord's eternal associate, and all the kings assembled there are individual eternal persons. It is not that they did not exist as individuals in the past, and it is not that they will not remain eternal persons. Their individuality exists in the past, and their individuality will continue in the future without interruption. Therefore, there is no cause for lamentation for anyone. Shall I stop here?
Yeah, you can stop here. Neil Mataji, would you like to read the remaining paragraph, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. The Mayavadi theory that after liberation, the individual soul, separated by the covering of Maya or illusion, will merge into the impersonal Brahman and lose its individual existence is not supported herein by Lord Krishna, the Supreme Authority. Nor is the theory that we only think of individuality in the conditioned state supported herein. Krishna clearly says herein that in the future also the individuality of the Lord and others, as it is confirmed in the Upanishads, will continue eternally. This statement of Krishna's is authoritative because Krishna cannot be subject to illusion. If individuality were not a fact, then Krishna would not have stressed it so much, even for the future. The Mayavadi may argue that the individuality spoken of by Krishna is not spiritual but material. Even accepting the argument that the individuality is material, then how can one distinguish Krishna's individuality? Krishna affirms his individuality in the past and confirms his individuality in the future also. He has confirmed his individuality in many ways, and impersonal Brahman has been declared to be subordinate to him. Krishna has maintained spiritual individuality all along. If he is accepted as ordinary conditioned soul in individual consciousness, then his Bhagavad Gita has no value as authoritative scripture. A common man with all the four defects of human frailty is unable to teach that which is worth hearing. The Gita is above such literature. No mundane book compares with the Bhagavad Gita. When one accepts Krishna as an ordinary man, then the Gita loses all importance. The Mayavadi argues that the plurality mentioned in this verse is conventional and that it refers to the body. But previous to this verse, such a bodily conception is already condemned. After condemning the bodily conception of the living entities, how was it possible for Krishna to place a conventional proposition on the body?
Again,
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. On the body again. Therefore, individuality is maintained on spiritual grounds and is thus confirmed by great acharyas like Sri Ramanuja and others. It is clearly mentioned in many places in the Gita that this spiritual individuality is understood by those who are devotees of the Lord. Those who are envious of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead have no bona fide access to the great literature. The non-devotees' approach to the teachings of the Gita is something like that of a bee licking on a bottle of honey. One cannot have a taste of honey unless one opens the bottle. Similarly, the mysticism of the Bhagavad Gita can be understood only by devotees, and no one else can taste it. As it is stated in the 4th chapter of the book, nor can the Gita be touched by persons who envy the very existence of the Lord? Therefore, the Mayavadi explanation of the Gita is a most misleading presentation of the whole truth. Lord Chaitanya has forbidden to read commentations made by the Mayavadis and warns that one who takes to such an understanding of Mayavadi philosophy loses all power to understand the real mystery of the Gita. If individuality refers to the empirical universe, then there is no need of teaching by the Lord. The plurality of the individual soul and the Lord is an eternal fact, and it is confirmed by the Vedas as above mentioned. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
much, Hare Krishna. So, this purport is, giving lot of information. Actually, it will set, what is to come. Many things have spoken here, especially. First, straight to the point. What is the first point? Arjuna's lamentation is thinking that I am killing Duryodhana, I am killing everyone, I am killing Karna. These are all my friends, these are all my relatives, right? That is what. But right away Krishna answered, they all existed in the past, they are going to exist in the future too. That means whom we are killing. Whom we are killing. Who we are then? That question arises. See, right away Krishna said, he didn't take a lot of time to. He said right away, all are existed all the time. All the time. It is eternal. So that means we need not to worry too much about ourselves, or we need not to spend too much on ourselves actually. Because today this body, what we have, with the name and everything, and this is called Upadi. Upadi. Our Upadi. What is my Upadi in this lifetime? My Upadi is Subhalasarka or Srinivasa, and my father and mother is Subbarao and Susila, I came from India. I came from Andhra Pradesh. I speak Telugu, English, and something like this. That means what? This is the Upadhi for this lifetime. But what about my past lifetime? We don't know. What about my future? We don't know. That means this is just a covering for this lifetime. So, even Arjuna of his lifetime is killing Duryodhana of his lifetime, this lifetime. Then what is so big deal? They will born again. If there is a destiny to meet, they will meet again. So, in another words, here Krishna is trying to tell it is an inevitable thing, and why you want to avoid it. Sometimes in the material world also we hear this line. What is this line? Take things as it comes. What does it mean by take things as it comes? That means don't think too much onto or don't think too too deep into it. Take things as it comes. So, especially here, what we are supposed to do in this lifetime with this body, do it. Don't think too much into it. That is what it means. So here especially Arjuna lost his composure. So he is trying to bring back that composure. What is this straight word to bring back? You are not killing anyone. Don't worry. That means it is an assurance for him. Oh, I'm not doing any guilty. I'm not doing any sinful act. Right? See, his guilt comes first, compassion, then the second one comes guilt. Like basically, what punishment do I get if I kill them? That is the second thing, right? So Krishna is covering, oh, you are not killing them. They are eternal. Even if you want, you can't kill them. So this is an assurance for Arjuna to come out. And how do we apply that one in our lives? How do we apply that one? Especially we are in deep, deep troubles. Nothing can save us. This line will help us really. What I'm going through is not me. What I'm going through is just the suffering that was given for this lifetime. Especially, I remember Kadamba Kanan Maharaj, who passed away few days or back or week back. His last message, or I heard a few of the lines, especially it hit me so hard. You all know that, right? Maharaj's health is not good, and having all this trouble with the health and everything. So the point Maharaj mentioned is even with all the suffering, Maharaj mentioned that what is the need to live more when everything is dukkhalayam? So it's all right. If it comes, it comes. So what is so big deal? What is there for me to longing for to live more, except serving Krishna? If Krishna permits, if Krishna permits, and Krishna gives the health, I serve Krishna. But if Krishna has other plans, I accept those plans. It hit me so hard, actually, that one line. I felt like, how much we go through, in the hospitals, especially, when we see someone, mind goes 100 ways to console that person. But how do we console that person when they are going so much through? But the fact is this one. If we are familiar with this knowledge, it will give some sort of mental peace, some sort of mental peace. Sometimes we are so overwhelmed with the situations that happens in our life. So overwhelmed. In such situations, this knowledge will help so much. And here Prabhupada has taken that in the purport a bit more. He explained to set the mood for the rest of the Bhagavad Gita. What did he say right away? We both are different. Especially Krishna's words, if we look at it, I exist, you exist, all of them are exist. See the words, especially he used it. I, you, and all are exist eternally. That means we never lose our individuality. No matter where we go, whether we go to Vaikunta, whether we go to Swargaloka, whether we go to hell, wherever we go, we still our own individual. But what Mayavadi philosophy is teaching us, Shankaracharya philosophy is teaching us, Sharira Bhashya. What is it teaching us? Oh, you are not this body. Yes, we all agree that we are not this body. But at the same time, we are not the only soul. There is a supreme soul. There is a super soul. Aham Brahmasmi. That is correct. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the Brahman. But I am not the supreme Brahman. I am not the supreme Brahman. There is also a supreme Brahman. Now, that supreme Brahman is the maintainer of all these souls. How do we know? Nityanam Chetanam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kama. See, he is conscious among the conscious, and he is one eternal among the eternals, but he is the one who supplies anything and everything that others need with Vidhati Kama. All our desires will be fulfilled by the Lord. When we know this fact, then we will accept him as the master. Because the master is taking care of his subjects. We're all his subjects. So he's taking care of it. Then we don't have any sort of rebellious nature in us. We don't go against to the will of the Lord. But when we don't understand, we do go. We do go. You know, when you go on streets for book distribution, sometimes you come across these kind of people, right? They lash you out, you know. A couple of times it happened to me. One person threatened, saying that if I don't leave right away then and there, he is going to call the cops. So that means he is not happy for what we are doing. He don't want it. So we can find it, especially here, one more word Prabhupada has used it. Why all this being discussed with Arjuna and everything? And why this is not to be given to the outsiders? Because people cannot understand as it is. People interpret it wrongly. If we have other motives, that means if we have any envy, all of it, this will be used in a wrong way. So this can never be given to an envious person. Why? Every now and then in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions this point to Arjuna. 9th chapter, first verse, Anasuya way. So I am giving this knowledge because you are not envy of me. And then a few more chapters use the same words. And especially in the 18th chapter, he concludes, I think 67th verse, I believe. Nacha susrushave vajjam nachamam yogya suyati. See the word? Whoever is not my devotee, whoever is not following, whoever is not worshipping, for such a person, you should never give this knowledge. Anasuya way. So that means it is very, very clear that with whom we are discussing this Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhagavad Gita is a secret. We may ask, oh, everything is written in the book, why it is a secret? But can everyone understand the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita by reading just alone English text? No, no. Unless until a learned person, an internalized person, a realized person, he only can tell the secrets of Bhagavad Gita. That is why the ninth chapter, especially titled as Rajavidya Rajagurhya Yoga. Rajagurhya, king of the secrets. You know, the ninth chapter, second verse of Bhagavad Gita, is talks about Rajavidya Rajagurhya. So, especially this is not for everyone. Those who are what you call wholeheartedly accept Krishna as the supreme, for such person. Especially here, impersonal liberation, he spoke a little bit more about saying that they always work for the liberation. Liberation. Many times we hear this word called moksha. You go to the moksha dhamma, you go to this, you go to this, you go to. Our aim is to go to moksha. Our aim is to go to liberation. Especially, Vaikuntha Ekadashi, all these things. When we go to the temples, you go to, our aim is not to get liberated. Liberated means what exactly? We are suffering and getting a relief from that suffering is called liberation. Every single day we are suffering in this body. Every single day we are suffering. So we get liberation from that. That is liberation. But will it give us positive energy? Make us to love something? Make us to be active every day? No. We have to have some attachment, isn't it? Every day, how do we get up? What do I do, my children? What do I do in office? What do I eat today? What do I see today? What do I dress today? Something hooking us every single day to get up. But if there is no one waiting, there is nothing to do, there is no one to speak to, then the question comes, what is that I need to even exist? My existence is or has a meaning to it, a value to it. It must connect. It must connect. So in the impersonal, if we don't connect, then what sort of happiness we get? We get liberation, but will that be happiness? So the happiness means we must enjoy it. We must be able to sense it, feel it. That is liberation. Or that is what is called bhakti. So that is why bhakti is saying that it is surpassed the liberation. Bhakti, we sincerely do, surpass the liberation. We can see in Bhagavatam many kings refused to go to Vaikuntha. You know why? Why they refused to go to even Vaikuntha? Their concern there is, do I have any work? Is there anyone can give a Krishna Katha, Hari Katha? I can listen. I can do something for Krishna. Cleaning a temple, doing something, listening, playing a music instrument, and asking questions, some activity. If there is no activity, they don't want to go to even to Vaikuntha. Prudu Maharaj is a great example. He asked the same question in another someone. He says that, oh, is there any Harikatha in Vaikuntha? If there is no Harikatha, what's the point going there? No, no need to go to there. That means we have to surpass the liberation. So our aim is not for liberation. Liberation is only for the impersonalist. That is why, Krishna in the other chapters very clearly expresses and in detail he says that this uh, 12th chapter. Is it 12th? No. Yeah, I think 12th chapter, 5th verse. क्लेशोदितरास्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवाप्तिरवाप्यते. Those who are follow this avyakta impersonal principle, for them getting enlightenment or progress in the spiritual path is very difficult. Very difficult. These are Krishna's words. I mean, unless until someone move from impersonal to personal, for example, Kumaras, the sons of Kumaras are impersonalist. They are the empowerment of knowledge. But what happened when they saw Vaikuntha Narayana? Then they realized, oh, this knowledge all meant to know Narayana. Then they become personal. Of course, they still practice jnana only. They still practice jnana only. But their jnana is now around Vaikuntha Narayana. Same with Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami is also an impersonalist. He doesn't care for anything at all. He gave up everything the minute he born. But what happened? As soon as he heard Bhagavatam from the disciples of Vyasadeva, they asked, he inquired, who wrote this? Where did this came? So he came back to Vyasadeva to know in depth of Bhagavatam. And he became the great devotee of Krishna. That means it is very rare the people who are impersonalist move forward and to become personal or become a devotee. Most of the time people will stop at the very basic stage of impersonalism. As discussed in Bhagavatam first canto, second chapter, 11th verse. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabde. This non-dual, the absolute truth, is called by the learned people as Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. See the stages? It is slowly rising from Brahman to Paramatma to Bhagavan. That is the complete. But if we thinking that, oh, I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, that is partial knowing. Partial knowing, but it has to move forward. So here, especially Krishna is speaking about Arjuna's problem. Oh, Arjuna, don't worry about it. So indirectly he is telling that you are not killing any of them. The same point, stressed out in the 10th chapter and the 11th chapter too. Especially in the 11th chapter, he says, I already killed Drona, Bhishma, Karna, all of them. You be just stand there, Nimittamatram bhava savyasate. Nimittamatram. You just stand there. You know, sometimes we see in the movies, right? The real hero will be someone, but someone will come in the front and stand in front of whatever the thing activity, take a pose, especially our ministers, right? Our ministers never in their life work one day as a labor or a laborer. You know, every day they come and they plant these trees, plants, all these things. They pose for, you know, one photograph done, and the rest will be done by again a gardener or someone. It's the same kind of. So Krishna is telling them, you are not the person killing them, or you are not the one. You are just there. You know, you know, you be there, just take all credit. So this fact is very, very important, and we should imprint in our minds. Then we don't feel worry at all. Our fear will go away because we know the truth. We know the truth. So now Krishna, from this point, is further extending it. So the next few verses, 13, 14, 15, sorry, most famous, most wonderful verses. So we will stop it here for today. And if we have any comments, questions, we will take it for a few more minutes. And let us see.